What's going on, man? This is your boy, Super Mario, man. You in the yo with your boy, man. Today we're going to talk about Isotope Iris 2 and stuff like that. A multi-layer sampler VST instrument. And I have to say, it's very impressive. And we're going to check it out and, you know what I'm saying, see what it do and stuff like that. Before we get up into this plug-in, man, you know what I'm saying, I just want to say thank you to you, the viewer, and everyone out there in the YouTube community. I want to say appreciate you for checking out this video, stopping by the channel, and you know what I'm saying, do around and stuff like that, man. Really do appreciate it, and stuff like that. It's not easy trying to come up with this content, so for people to check it out, it's just really a blessing, and a blessing upon you for, you know what I'm saying, doing what you do and stuff like that. Hey, if you like this channel, you like this video, go ahead, hit a like, hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate it so much. You know how to work that YouTube app. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up into this plug-in right here, man. Isotope Iris 2. This is, again, a multi-layer sampler VST instrument or whatnot, and it's really unique. This particular instrument has its own swag, I like to say, because it just doesn't load up a sample and you just start playing and do a little something here. You can actually custom tailor the samples that you load into this particular instrument and create your own unique sounds with it. I'm just going to point out the key parameters and the key sections of this plugin that once you download it and get ready to go and you download the 4 GB or 5 GB sound content library for this. Yes, $9.99. $10 plugin at the time of February 9th, stuff like that. This $10 plugin at the time of this recording has a huge sound library that comes with it. So if you missed out on this deal, I feel bad for you. We're gonna focus on the different sections of this particular plugin, and you know what I'm saying, for us, you know, once you get everything ready to go and start playing around with it, you'll know what to kind of like play around with. Okay. Now I did my little investigation on it last night when I first got everything installed on it and everything like that. It's a very impressive plugin, and it may look like, oh my god, it's a lot going on with it and everything like that. Nah, that's not really the case, man. It may look like that, but it's super easy. Let's talk about it. All right, cool deal, man. First section that really kind of pops out right here, of course, is if people want to know where the patch is at, where the presets, where the patches. All right, right here at the top, you'll see a box that says base new patch. When you click on that, you will have your patch section. Okay. If you're thinking this plugin, you know what I'm saying, is gonna come with a lot, let me tell you right now, hell to the no. All right. This plugin will not come with a lot of patches, even though they give you about 4 to 5 gigabytes of a sound library. They really screwed you on the presets or patches or whatnot because they didn't give you shit. So you get more bass synth sounds than you do anything else, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically all the bass sounds that you have. Your key patches, that's basically it. Not too much. All right. Oh, the leads. That's all you get for leads. This is a VST sample instrument, and you have more bass and key patches than you do with leads, and this is all the leads you get. Shame on them, man. Shame on them, whoever the design team. Oh my god, that's laziness right there, man. All that sound content you get, and you only get this many leads. Oh, it gets better. Check out the pads. That's all you get right there. Yes. Oh, hold on, it gets better. Rhythmic. That's all you get. So, you know what I'm saying, I kind of truly think that the Isotope designers, they wanted to put a good product together, but they was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, this multi-layer sampler is actually an introduction for you to learn sound design. And that, my friends, is what this plugin kind of gives you a false sense of introductory or beginner sound design. Okay, you will see why here in a few seconds. Okay, so this is the where you choose all your patches. You have macro controls, and you may have some stuff mapped to these macro controls once you choose one of these patches inside the instrument as well. The next section I want to talk about that's really important is once you load a sample in this big section right here that says click here to load sample, you have a mixer section for the 4 sample slots. Okay, and if you click on mix right here at the top, you will have a pop-out mixer, and this is where you can load and choose different samples for each sample slots for this particular instrument. Okay, and it's really cool how they have it laid out, because you can choose your sample here, then you can adjust your pitches and get your pitching right and everything like that on these 2 knobs. And then these 2 knobs right here, you can pan the sounds and also adjust the gain if need be, and then you can send effects to the actual master effects section. Now the killer part about this is I think you get different types of distortion, chorus, delays, and reverbs, but you can't really kind of freely choose out different effects and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird how they have it. So if you go over here to the master effects section, this is the master effects. If you hit sends and then you turn it on, and you can see here you can choose different types of the given effect, but you can't really change that given effect because you're stuck with a distortion, you're stuck with chorus, you're stuck with delay, you're stuck with reverb. Okay, we want to switch that back to master because we want the effects to control all the samples in the 4 slots as well. In this section right here, right above the master effects section, you have a master filter. Okay, and this is where you can kind of choose different types of filters. You know, saying several, a few different low pass, a few different highs, a few different band pass, and also 1 peak filter that you can choose from. And then from here you have the master pan knob and also master gain knob as well. And then you have this velocity kind of like percentage. I guess it has infographics on here when you hover your mouse over these knobs, so you won't be lost. But this this velocity knob basically tells you, you know, saying it helps you set the incoming velocity values affected by that master gain and stuff like that, man. So that is the section right here that's important, and everything I went into for as what this little mixer window does right here, it basically translates out right here. You're just getting it in a simpler form. So you see how you see sample 1 on this slot, and then you see just what we saw in the mix window right here. Basically this is it, you know what I'm saying? Sample 1, and then master and master filter and master effects. It's just not a pop-out window. If you go to sample 2, boom, you focusing on 1 sample at a time, 3 and 4th and so forth on. And this big section right here is basically dedicated for each sample. For us, you know what I'm saying, let's say you want to affect the LFO, of course 5 different LFO sections. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. You have 5 different LFO sections that you can apply different LFO parameters to these different type of knobs over here and stuff like that. Okay, and then you have the same thing with the envelope for your ADSR, your tag, decay, sustain, and release. All that stuff is right here, and then you can edit your macro section right here. So this is kind of like a hybrid modulation slash keyboard selector assignment slash get it all ready to go type of situation. And we'll talk a little bit about the LFOs and the modulation and what it do to each of the samples as well. All right, let's get into the fun part, loading in a sampler and actually checking out a patch or two. All right, so I don't like synth bass sounds, but just for the sake of this video, we'll go ahead and choose a bass sound right here, and we'll check out the sound. You can hear rich sounds on that bass sound right there, man. That's why I really like this instrument. You know what I'm saying? It has really good sounds. I'm gonna choose a random key key patch. All right, let's go to this warm vintage patch right here. Alrighty, let's see. Let's go down here. And you're probably trying to figure out, well, what is that noise? Well, this particular instrument, for us, when it comes to these samples, has this loop type of situation. What I want you to do is pay attention to these different wave files right here in these different 4 slots. Look at what the lines do, and this is why the sounds are kind of unique. All right, I'm gonna play a chord here, and I'm just holding down the chord. Now it's not showing the lines. I thought it would show the lines or whatnot, but it's not. But what it's doing is it's I guarantee you one of these sounds has this playback where it goes forward and it plays the sample forward, and then once it gets to the end of this particular sample right here where the blue is, it'll play backwards. And so it's kind of like type of situation right there, man. And this sound has the same thing, and this sound is playing only forward, and the top one is only playing forward. So these two in the middle is kind of going back and forth, and stuff like that. All right, cool deal. So that is the key sounds. Let's go to leads with these handful of leads. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right, that's your lead sounds. We'll go and try to find a pad. Let's choose this one right here. It's not really a pad there. There we go. That's a pad sound right there. I don't really get down with the rhythmic type sounds, but let's check it out for the sake of this video. Let's choose another one. That don't have no rhythm to it. That don't have no rhythm to it. There we go. All right, cool deal. So that's the rhythm of sounds right there, man. All right, so we went through basically, tried out one sound for each category. You get the vibe of it and everything like that. The sound engine is superb in here. Love the sound engine and whatnot. Now, if you want to go and create your own samples, you have the luxury to do so. So what you have to do is, let's say you played around with some of the patches and you want to start from scratch. Just hit the new button, and it'll start from scratch for you or whatnot. Now let's go here and we're gonna click here to load sample. All right, and this is a catch. When you click here, it's gonna give you the sound content library. Okay, if you click on the folder, you get access to your sound library. Okay, I'm talking about them sounds where you got all 50 million loops and 50 million one shots and everything like that, and saying different samples here and there or whatnot. Your own personal library you can access once you click on the folder. Okay, this folder right here. But if you click right here, click here to load sample, it's gonna pull up the actual sound content library for Iris 2. Okay, so we're gonna explore that first, and then we'll get to more of the personal stuff. All right, cool deal. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and choose one of these instruments sounds that they have in here. We're just gonna go to like the brass section, and let's go to a trumpet sound, and let's see what we get here. All right, so we got a trumpet sound here. And so if you look right here, what we can do is kind of choose within the sample itself. So you see this little window, this little drop down. We can just basically choose different one shots right here. And they have a lot of weird different sounds in here, by the way. we're gonna choose something we already know. So let's say you like that sound right there. All right. You can basically do the playback situation. So right now this one shot is going forward. All right. Now watch this. We're gonna choose forward backwards. Now as you see this little line, it's gonna go backwards. All right. Fix is basically you can play the same tone on all of your keys. So if you had, let's say, a drum sample in here, your pitch mode may want to be on fix. That way you could just play the same drum sound on all of your keys. So I only see two different pitch modes that someone will use: resample and fix. Fix will be for more drums and percussive type of sounds. Resample will be more for your melodic type sounds. All right, cool deal. You can also clear the sample out. So if you wanted to clear the sample out and let's say go to another instrument, let's say let's go to a guitar sound. Let's go to acoustic and choose let's say here this guitar note right here and stuff like that. There you go. All right. Now this root note, we're playing this C key, but you could change the root note and put it down on, let's say C3, what we were playing. All right, so we was playing A4 in the beginning. We brought it down to an A3, but we're playing it A3 on a C key. All right, so if you want make everything to make sense, you can take your root note and put it on C. All right, and that's the C note. All right, cool deal. So we're gonna keep that root note on the C right there. Now the cool part about this is you got your sound, right? And we have the playback mode on forwards and backwards. And you'll see that the note is actually going back and forward. Forward and back. All right. That is because of the loop start and end points. All right. So this is our loop start end points. You can see it right here. We can adjust it here. Okay. And also we can adjust it here. So let's say, for instance, that sound right there, we want it to stop right there. We can adjust that loop. And so when you play a chord, now when it's going back and forth, you got to keep in mind that it's not on no type of tempo sync. So I don't have it in a DAW and I'm not exactly sure. So if you know Iris 2 a little bit more, please drop a comment to correct me or help me out there. But you know what I'm saying, I think I played it in Ableton Live and it was doing the same thing for us. When you go down lower on the pitch, things get a little slow for us. The loop is concerned, and also the timing of the particular sample that you're using as well, man. But if you know more than I do, go ahead and drop a comment real quick. But you can adjust those looping endpoints. So if you want the whole sample, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna put our playback on forwards. If you want the whole sample, just basically adjust your loop points there. The crossfade, really didn't understand that just yet. And the offset is basically kind of like where the sample start is. And this particular sampler kind of reminds me of the NNXT out of Reason, the old school sampler, and how their parameters are. So if you want your sample start to start right here at the tail end of this guitar sound, all right, and then here's the sample start here. We just forget about that whole big transient, and then you bring it all the way back to the start right there. And you can even delay the key stroke. As far as, okay, I'm pressing on the key. Oh, here you go. See what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, you could definitely delay the note and everything like that. Pretty cool, okay? Now, let's talk about the LFOs, okay? So the LFO is basically, you can play a note, and it's gonna do, it could take the note and do like a whoa, 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 whoa type of situation, okay? All right, so we're gonna take this LFO and we're gonna doctor it up a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and we can go and choose a different LFO type. So let's say, for instance, we'll just keep it at a analog sine. All right, and then We're gonna choose attack, and we're gonna phase it just a little bit right there, and we're gonna keep the depth at 100. All right, so you see how we got that? I want the LFO to control my pan of the sound. Okay, so I'm gonna right click here. All right, you can see these little circles right here. I'm gonna right click on one of these circles. I'm gonna choose LFO 1. That's what we played around with. And now when I press that key, this first LFO does this left, right, left situation. If you hit sync, I'm quite sure it'll go into sync mode for us. You know what I'm saying? If you had this in a DAW or whatnot. All right, and then take it off of sync mode, and you can adjust it by time, as far as hertz and the speed. See what I'm saying? So you can create your own sound, and it already doesn't sound like that one guitar sound. So if we was to take that off, clear the modulation assignment. Now check this out. We'll put it back on the LFO. Pretty cool, right? So that's that right there. I like it right there. All right, so we assigned modulation to the pan knob. You can do the same thing with the gain knob. So let's say, for instance, we want to go digital stair pyramid. All right, so we got this kind of like this modulation going on the LFO, and we can assign that to the gain knob. Now check this out. We're going to choose LFO 2. All right. All right, now let's go to 5. Now it sounds more like a 8-bit chip tune set type of sound or whatnot. Very video gaming. Just by modulation with the LFOs, it's pretty cool. We're gonna take that off of that. I don't like that on the gain knob. There we go. Now, if you need to make some adjustments to the pitch shift when it comes to synths or your semitones, you can. You have a coarse knob, which is representing your semitones, and the fine knob is representing your synths. Okay. All right. So let's say, for instance, I need to pitch down that sample, but I want my root note to stay on C3. Okay. I just adjust the semitone to get it in tune with whatever I'm jamming to in a beat or whatnot. Okay. All right. And you'll notice that the lower key, if I play this lower key, you see how that white line right here. Hold on one second, y'all. See how this white line is moving slow versus if I play something on the higher register. See how that white line goes across? So I haven't really figured that part out just yet, but I think it's still cool when you play a chord. You get different timings for us, what's being triggered and how fast that sound is traveling and whatnot. I think that's pretty cool, or whatever the case may be. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Let's say you like that sound, right? Okay, and you want to add a second layer. Okay, all right. So that was one layer we focused in on. All right, so we're gonna step it up a notch, and we're going to, let's say, add another layer. All right, and let's go with toys. Let's do something different, and we want to go with a process sound, and let's choose let's see here, let's choose this robo alphabet. All right, we're gonna go ahead and click on that. Now check this out. This is the end of your sample, and then this is everything else with the toy sample. Let's hit play and see what happened, or press on the key. Okay. So that's the end of this sample. This sample is just getting started. So what you would have to do now, this is where this particular instrument gets real interesting. You can go ahead and uh, basically kind of find where you want to start at. So let's say you want the sound to start here. You know what I'm saying? You can do it right there. You know what I'm saying? You can adjust that. Let's say the sample start, you want it to be about right here. Let's go ahead and mute that first sound. So you like that right there, okay? What you'll do is just basically trim that up. All right, so I like it about right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna trim it up about right there, and you can even zoom in. So with the scroll wheel on my mouse, you can actually zoom in and actually check out that sound. So let's say, for instance, we're gonna get in here and we're gonna adjust that sample start, the offset, and we're gonna zoom out. And what we're gonna do now is go ahead and get that loop where it needs to be at. So I'm gonna loop it right here on the same value, 17,900. And you can even type your value in. So 17,900. You hit enter. All right, cool deal. You will see it right there. Our sample start and our loop is basically right here. All right, and if we was to highlight that part right there, you'll see what I'm talking about right here. All right, so this is where our sound is at right here. All right, cool deal. All right, so we can even let's see here. So where we're gonna see is going back to this sound right here. Okay, so let's bring that loop about right here. There we go. Cool deal. So we got our loop where we want it. All right, now we're gonna put it on. It's looping back because we have the button loop engaged. So if we don't want it to loop, there it is. If we want it to play back and forth, back and forth. See what I'm saying? I'm just holding that one note down. All right, we'll put it back on forwards, put it on loop. All right, cool deal. So we'll go back here. We'll take that off a loop, bring them all together, unmute that one. All right, this one is still, oh, it's on loop mode. There we go. So we took it off a loop and it's not looping anymore. It's still playing that. It's still playing through. Look like it's playing the equal distance of this one guitar sample. All right, cool deal. All right, and let's say for instance you wanted to add sound effects to everything in here, but whatnot. You'll have to change your master effects to send. Okay, and then we're gonna initiate the reverb on all of the sample slots, and then we can add reverb here. See what I'm saying? Reverb on that robotic sound. All right, cool deal. Now that robotic sound, we can bring down the gain, and we can really kind of layer it in there. You can hear it now. We can even pan that sound. Let's bring it to the right a little bit. See what I'm saying? Now, let's add another sound. Okay. Let's go with a voice. All right. And let's go with a female voice. And I don't know. Let's go with a C high. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the first and second sample. All right, now that's the girl's voice. All right. Let's put a little distortion on our voice. All right. And let's choose saturation. All right, cool deal. And then we're going to add a little bit of reverb. And then we'll do a little bit of delay. I'm just putting some stuff together, by the way. And you can actually have full control over your delay and also reverb as well, for as the parameters is concerned. All right. Let's get our delay linked and the timing set. All right, cool deal. Now we got a sound there. Gonna turn that down. Let's play the robotic sound. All right, we paying that voice sound to the left a little bit, and now you get a sense of what's going on. We're gonna change this root note to C3. Let's bring it up an octave. Where do we go? There we go. And let's bring this robotic sound up an octave. So everything is on C for as the root note. And we're gonna bring it down a semitone, 8 semitones on all 3 layer samples. All right, we're gonna bring down that vocal and bring up the robotic. All right, so we just got sample 2 and sample 3 playing right now. We don't have the guitar playing. We made the necessary adjustments for all the parameters we changed on 2 and 3 to the guitar sound as well. We're gonna unmute that one. All right, we brought that vocal down just a little bit on the gain. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you know what I'm saying, when you look at it here, you'll see that vocal sample do what it do. So if you want to get into sound design, you know what I'm saying, this instrument is pretty cool for us. Just kind of playing around, getting your own custom unique sounds and really kind of doing some entry level sound design just by way of samples as well. Now the last thing we're going to talk about is loading up your own samples in here. So what I want to do is just go ahead and let's go ahead and clear out all of these samples. Clear sample, clear sample, clear sample here. All right, and we're going to focus on one slot, and we're going to choose this little folder button right here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and pull up some sounds from our actual sample library here. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh, we may get lucky. We're gonna choose this bell sound, for example. All right, we'll choose this bell sound. All right, now it's on automatically root catch. It's gonna catch the root note, and so we're just gonna play the A4. Now this is actually a sample loop of a bell sound. This is a whole sample loop, okay? Something that you would use to make a beat around. Now check this out. We're gonna go ahead and blow up that window, and you can see right here is the actual sample loop. All right. So let's say you wanted to sample that part right there. Okay. So what you would have to do is basically let's go ahead and let's draw this up. All right, and you want to go ahead and sample that little bit right there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, and let's all right, we got that right there. All right, and let's bring that, let's say, down to C4. All right, and let's say, for instance, you wanted to take the LFO off that we had. So any changes that you make on the LFO and you choose another sample, be mind that the modulation section is going to stay there because you have it mapped to that particular parameter. So we're going to clear that out. There we go. Now before, you guys, this was the sample right here. This was the whole sample. All right, but since then we slimmed it up a little bit, and we adjusted that sample right here. All right, so basically this is what I'm doing, making sure that the end is right there, and it does a real good job of when you're adjusting that end part right here, you're lining it up. Now I took basically a full bar sample and made it a one shot. All right, cool deal. So if we wanted to make that sound forwards backwards, peep the game. So we kind of like we cut that one sample into that, and we changed the playback mode from forward to forward backwards, and you get a cooler sound. Like, that's pretty cool right there. Let's add a little bit of delay to that. Let's add a little bit of distortion. All right, and let's do clipping. All right, let's bring that down a little bit. All right, cool deal. You get the gist of it, right? We're gonna bring that. Well, we're gonna turn that distortion off. It sounds nasty. All right, cool deal. What we'll do is add a master filter. See how we got some nasty low end on there? We'll go ahead and let's say choose a high pass, and then roll off some of that low end. We adjust the resonance, turn that up a little bit. And basically you got your one sound. So if you like those sounds right there, you can go ahead and save that, and you can put it in, let's say, keys, for example. All right, and we'll put it in keys, and we'll call that Supa bell key. All right. All right, we'll call that Supa bell key. Save that. Boom, there it is. So if you want to see where it's at, you just go to patches, and right there, Supa bell key. I made one last night. Cool deal. And what it's gonna do is, now be mindful, if you close out of here and let's say you don't have your hard drive connected to the computer, and you load up iZotope Iris 2, and you don't have the directory for that sample that you just created this newly patch from, you may have to have that same directory present far as your hard drive and where you got your sounds at. So be mindful of that as well, man. So just kind of give you, it's just different options that you can play around with sampling or whatnot. And a lot of people have their own workflow and own mindset and their own way of sampling or whatnot. But you have 4 different slots that you can play around with and just really truly have fun and stuff like that. So that's my little take on iZotope Iris 2 multi-layered sampler or whatnot. Really cool plug-in. Hey, if you're watching this video and if it's still on sale for $9.99, I highly recommend you get it, man, because it gives you just array of options for as the sound design and also sampling purposes as we played around with this instrument as well, man. Hey, you know what to do, man. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button on this channel, and I appreciate you tuning in, watching, and checking everything out in this in-depth review of Isotope Iris 2 and rocking with your boy Super Mario in the yo with your boy, man. Check you guys later. You have a blessed day. Peace.